What is up, guys? It is the Bluebloods here coming at y'all with the first 2-minute drill episode of the week, man. Monday, July 12th. B-Dub will be back this week, man. Can't wait to have him on the show, man. I've been holding down the fort for a few days. So, guys, you already know we got to do some announcements for a Monday. Right now, on our YouTube channel, our exclusive interview with Nicario Harper, Jacksonville State DB, 2021 OVC Defensive Player of the Year, first team All-American for the entire FCS. Jacksonville State kid, man. This kid was so amazing to have on the show. He's one of my favorite guests that we've had. He talked the talk. He walks the walk on the field. I promise you won't want to miss that. I can't wait to drop some of the clips from that interview on social media, man. You know, he deserves all the shine. Make sure to go like that video and check it out because he deserves all the attention, all the praise that he has been getting. And then tomorrow, guys, we have another interview dropping. We're back with the SWAC. We got Alcorn State running back Austin Bolton on the show, man. Dominant player at the community college level. He was the MVP of the national championship game there. He's going to do big things for Alcorn this year. So make sure to subscribe now, and that way you don't miss that one coming tomorrow. But guys, we gotta go to the Power Five real quick. And man, Kansas can't catch a break. I'm just going to keep it honest with y'all. This program, not only is it absolutely terrible on the field, I like their hold of Lance Leipold and all that, but man, it's like all the scandals and what Les Miles put this program through is just horrible. But there was a story today that was leaked by the Kansas City Star. I think it was Jesse Newell leaked this, and then it kind of broke all over the place. Is that Kansas football paid a player and his family nearly $50,000 in benefits to sign like a non-disclosure agreement and leave the program after the 2019 season. This stems from, I guess, threatening interaction with 4 other teammates in which they busted into his dorm room with his family, his 15-year-old brother. I think his girlfriend was there too, according to the story, and came in threatening violence against him. And they had to call 911. And apparently it had something to do with he kind of leaked the information or, snitched on them about selling marijuana. And so this was brought to Jeff Long, the AD's attention, brought to Les Miles' attention, and supposedly Les Miles' solution to this was to let them settle their disagreement through full contact drills in practice. Yeah, how about that one for you? And so this as y'all probably realize, this escalated the situation, and so then they asked this player to leave, and the 4 defensive players got to still start for the team. And according to the father, who's Jamie Humphrey, he said that, quote, Les Miles and Jeff Long swept this under the rug, tried to buy our silence, and this is how they operated while they were doing Kansas. And they also reimbursed the family 58 cents per mile to take Humphrey back to West Virginia, which is where he's from. And the agreement was signed by Reed. Apparently, someone from the Big 12 Office of Compliance said that it was unusual wording in the contract. And apparently the player lived in the above apartment, so he lived 1 floor above him. And man, I don't even know what happened. And then also, this is kind of where it gets disturbing for me. And, fights and everything else happens. They had disagreements, but Humphrey said that previous altercations before it escalated included the lug nuts on his car being loosened. And they reported to Long and Les Miles, and nothing happened. And the coaches just asked for an apology. Like, dude, listen, do you understand how much disdain you have to have for an individual to loosen their lug nuts on their car, hoping they take off and the wheel come off? And this wasn't just one, like, what happens if he gets into a wreck and dies or severely injures himself or even someone else? Like, this is absolutely insane. And apparently, the Lawrence police officers have the 911 call. They won't release it. But no official offense report was ever created when they were called to the apartment. And now, of course, Miles is fired after his sexual misconduct came out while he was at LSU. And Jeff Long, also the AD, was fired. And KU Athletics and I think the compliance director for them declined to comment on the situation. And so, we don't usually cover stuff like this too much, but this was like really the only huge thing in the news. And we're working on coming out with some preview stuff. But I just wanted to get this out here because, man, like, what is even like, how toxic of an environment do you have to have in your football program to have other players who were doing illegal legal stuff out of the dorm and you knew about it? You allow them to physically put their hands on the kid in practice one-on-one. And like, I'm not saying like, okay, you shouldn't have to go up against each other in a scrimmage, but in one-on-one drills to solve the disagreement. And then you have them breaking into his dorm while his family's there, threatening all their lives, threatening physical violence, on top of loosening lug nuts on his car and hoping that he wrecks and might kill himself or kill someone else. Listen, I know there's somebody's going to comment down below and say, "Oh man, it's blown out of proportion." I'm not saying it is or isn't, but I want to make sure we have all the facts straight. And this just came out right before we recorded. If this is true, that they went and loosened the lug nuts on the car, they broke into the apartment and like physically put their hands on somebody and consistently did everything that the report says, every one of those players should be charged with attempted murder. I know this is a college football podcast, but guys, like, you cannot go and loosen lug nuts on another player's car or another person's car. Like, this extends way beyond the football field and how big of a piece of crap Les Miles is. Like, you had players potentially putting other players' lives in danger, and you didn't care because this player might not have been as good as your 4 defensive starters. Man, like, it's disgusting, it's toxic, and I think it shows how bad Les Miles really got. And like, we covered the sexual assault thing on the podcast and all that, and yeah, he's a piece of crap. And I think they should bring more charges for this situation on there as an accomplice to the attempted murder charge of these 4 players. But like, and I don't care about their, like, you're like, oh, you're gonna ruin 4 young kids' lives over something like that. Yes, if you go around loosening lug nuts on people's cars without their knowledge, trying to do that and breaking and entering people's dorm rooms, bro, like, who cares about your football career? You're a bad person. Like, you're a terrible person, and I don't think they should get any sympathy. And I want to kind of move back onto the field here, but Lance Leipold's there. They get a new AD, but I don't think the repercussions have to be stern for Kansas. Like, just like Penn State, just like SMU, just like Baylor. I mean, in any toxic program, just because you fired a bunch of people doesn't mean the program just gets to like go away clean. Like, there's still people in the compliance office. There's still people around campus. There's people on that team that knew about what was happening and kept their mouth shut. I mean, the NCAA's got to do something here. And I'm never, like, on this podcast, man, we never take the NCAA side, but what is going on? Like, I live in Kansas right now, and like, what? Like, and I know I'm at K-State, and I'm an Auburn fan. Dude, if let's say who do y'all want to say Auburn's best player is? Like, what is it, Kobe McLean, Bo Nick, like whatever. If they were going around loosening lug nuts on other teammates' car, bro, get them charged and get them off my team. I don't want to root for them on Saturdays, and I don't want them to have any fame, fortune. I don't want them to have any notoriety, and they should be charged as criminals. Like, you got to charge the players, you got to find the school, you got to give them some type of sanction for this. And there's got to be something. Unless Miles, like, I know you don't like. I know he don't listen to podcasts, and you know what? I'm glad he doesn't. And if you support someone like Les Miles, I also want you to unsubscribe now because I don't want you supporting the podcast either. Like, he was such a respectable, respected coach in college football, winning national championships at LSU. He was going to go down as one of the best coaches of all time. And now all this comes out that he was sexually assaulting people down at LSU. He was allowing players to put others' lives at danger over selling marijuana out of a dorm room. Man, it's gotten to the point where, yes, you can give benefit of the doubt at some point, maybe, but now, like, you've taken it to a line where this has kind of escalated past the NCAA at some junctions and really went to, are we just going to allow people to do stuff like that to other people, like just on a personal level, like an individual level? And man, this is like the worst story like we've had to cover like on this pod. Like, dude, like what are like Kansas football has been historically the worst football program in maybe college football history over these past however many years. Since 07, when last time they were good. You've been terrible on the football field. You've been terrible off the field. You have a terrible work environment. You got a toxic program. Like, at what point does NCAA stop in and say, man, we just got to burn it to the ground and like build it up from nothing? And yeah, they got a new head coach, a new AD, but did you fire all the compliance people? Did you get all the toxic people off that team? And listen, I mean, Kansas had a defensive player. Kansas had a defensive lineman transfer to Auburn. I need the 4 names of these defensive players released, and if it's that guy, even for Auburn, who we really need them, I don't care who it is that they transferred away, bro. Take their eligibility, bro, and bring charges upon them. I'm so serious, and I hate that this story came out, but the NCAA's got to do something to Kansas football. Those 4 athletes need significant legal action and they don't need to play college football anymore. And for Les Miles, I hope they bury you under something, man. This guy in the past year has had more dirt released on him than anybody else in college football, and he is just. I don't want to hear an LSU fan defend him. I don't want to hear a Kansas fan defend him. I don't want to hear anyone defend him. Les Miles, it forever will be tarnished in college football's eyes. And so, guys, comment below your thoughts on this story. Comment below on what needs to happen. If this is your first time hearing the story, just your general thoughts, man. This was a crazy episode to start the week, man. But we're starting some positional rankings later this week. We got interviews, like I think all 5 days this week, player interviews, man. Cannot wait to get to that. Austin Bolton tomorrow, Alcorn State running back. Today, Nicario Harper, Jacksonville State DB on the show. Make sure to go check those out. But guys, B-Dub will be back tomorrow. We got some preseason content to get to. But for myself, the 2-minute drill, and the Blue Bloods guys, I'm out.